Hey, fight fans! Pat Shaw here from the Combat Chain, here to bring you another FTC Friday Night Fights. Tonight, we have a feature match for you. We have Yuki Lee Bender from StroopWafel facing off against Adam Filipchuk of Team Combat Chain. And this one is chock full of drama and excitement because StroopWafel and Combat Chain are tied 2-2 going into this game. So this is game 5 for all the marbles on this series here, and StroopWafel is already down in the for the season 0-1. So in order for them to stay alive, Yuki needs to beat Adam Filipchuk tonight. Otherwise, their season might be a wash. So we've got a lot of drama ahead of us, and I'm gonna wait till they flip the heroes, and we're gonna go right to the game. It is just me on the play-by-play, so hope you have fun. I'll be looking at chat. Tell me what I need to see here, and what's going on. Here we go to the game. Woo! Here we are. All right, we've got an Icelander mirror. Adam Filipchuk and Yuki both on Icelander. The roll to see who goes first. Super important in the Icelander mirror. And it does look like Yuki won the roll. Presumably she'll go first. Combatants finishing up putting their equipment onto the battlefield. Last second sideboard. And soon we'll be off and running here. Chat, let me know how my sound is, if you can hear me. Hope it is good. We're flying by the seat of our pants here. Got on last minute. Hope everyone's doing well. It's an exciting Friday night for some flesh and blood here on the FTC channel, brought to you by Fab Foundry. And the combatant's still going. Excellent. Thank you, chat. Appreciate it. Still making some decisions here before we get to the action. Let's go ahead. Icelander mirror made famous at the World Championships with Michael Hamilton versus Viet Pham. The infamous sink below an Arsenal lockup by Hamilton after seeing the sink below with the brain freeze early in the game. Knew that sink below as an Arsenal prevented Viet Pham from being able to use that card by just simply not using an attack action for the rest of the game. So we have everyone shuffling up. We'll get started here. Icelander mirror is one of those wacky priority centric instant speed battles where it's frankly going to be very confusing about whose turn it is based on the stack. So bear with me. We'll get through this together. All right, we see identical equipments onto the battlefield. We have a Null Rune hood, the Constanalis chess pieces, the Metacarpus nodes for the hands, and Storm Striders for the boots, and both with Waning Moon. And we have Yuki pitching 2 reds and a blue for an Insidious Chill to start off. 3 counters on the Insidious Chill, floating 1, and that'll do it for Yuki. Arsenals and passes to Adam. Adam on the play. We see the first red Aether Ice Vein pitching a blue. We see the fuse with a blue frosting. This is coming in for 5, and if it hits, player will pay 2 or discard. And we see a blue pitch for the Arcane Barrier. 2 blue pitches Floating 1. The Constellatus prevents damage, gets a counter. Adam puts the fuse card back. Still got 1 float on Yuki's side. And there is the Waning Moon for 2. AB1 prevents 1 of that. And Adam arsenals and passes now back to Yuki, who comes in with a Findel's Fighting Spirit, lower life, does gain a life, comes in for 7. Filipchuk contemplating the next move here. Icelander, kind of an evolution of sorts, early from Everfest in this kind of blue value, blue pitch heavy value deck in Everfest Blitz only, then introduced in Uprising as an adult hero, with a lot of ice-centric combo pieces like Frost Hexes and the Insidious Chills. And of course, Michael Hamilton making these red value cards super popular with things like Findel's Fighting Spirit and Enlightened Strike, and most infamously Wounded Bull coming into play as the prominent red cards. And we do see there's a block for 6. And an Aether Hail coming in with a Heart of Findel being pitched. We got life total swapping all around. All sorts of value plays happening here on FTC Friday Night Fights. We have Yuki Lee Bender versus Adam Filipchuk for the series deciding Game 5 here between the Combat Chain and the StroopWafel. And Yuki comes in on her turn with her own Aether Ice Vein Red fused with a Hypothermia, triggering the Insidious Chill. So we're going to start off with a pay to or discard effect before the arcane hits. Adam contemplating a possible response while the Insidious Chill trigger on the stack. Chat, let me know what you think about the Icelander Mirror, what's happening tonight, and how you're doing. We're having a ball, sitting down, watching some Flesh and Blood here on the FTC channel. Thanks for tuning in. And we see the Insidious Chill come out of Arsenal from Adam Filipchuk in response to the Insidious Chill trigger, creating a Frostbite in the process. We see a Waning Moon with that Hypothermia being pitched as part of the activation. That Frostbite looks like it was, actually looks like it's on. Right? The Waning Moon in response to the Frostbite. Now we see... Now it looks like the Insidious Chill is on the stack. Yuki being so kind as to physically stack things in the order that they need to be recognized in. And I'm sure we, as the outsiders, can all appreciate that. And Adam discards a Scar for Scar. And now, having to respond to the Aether Ice Vein, we see a channel like Frigid being pitched to the Constellus. 1, 2, 3. 3 damage coming through. And both sides clean up Yuki arsenals and passes to Adam. Adam left with a 1-card hand after it's all said and done. Likely simply a arsenal pass turn for him. Does seem to be a slight pause in the action. I'm wondering if Adam passed priority before going to the end step, in which case Yuki is taking advantage and playing an Emerus Scolding, coming in for 4, bringing Adam down to 26, and following up with a Waning Moon, pitching a red and using the float for another 3. So that Insidious Chill already paying dividends, forcing Adam to lose cards that he otherwise may have been able to pitch to avoid the arcane damage on this go around. Had the 1 card, needs the arsenal, had to eat a whole bunch of arcane, and we see Yuki with a energy pot being played. And a similar passing of priority and a second Insidious Chill coming out of Arsenal for Adam, creating a Frostbite. Both players still have a Waning Moon option, and there it is for Adam, taking 3. Does Yuki with an arsenal and a pass. Back to Adam's turn. 2 cards. No arsenal. Arsenal was used for the Insidious Chill. We see a Brain Freeze fused with an ice card. Like an Ice Bolt. Is that the name of it? So because of the fuse, Insidious Chill, both Insidious Chills are activated. They'll pay 2 or discard times 2 for Yuki. When we just saw how well that paid off for her initially with that Aether Ice Vein. Now Adam gets to respond. We see the Hypothermia and a red Aether Ice Vein pitched. For the 4 total, and there's the 2 cards revealed from the Brain Freeze. Adam with an arsenal. And Yuki's turn, she comes in with a Wounded Bull, does not get the buff because she is 6 life points higher. So coming in for 7. Adam shuffling his hand, seeing what cards he can block with. Really just thinking about his turn. Icelander isn't a heavy blocker if she's got things to do. In response, we'll likely see something happen with the card in Arsenal before blocks declared here. The dual Insidious Chills looming large on the battlefield compared to Yuki's single. We won't see an Insidious Chill from her this turn with the Wounded Bull coming in. So Filipchuk does have an opportunity here to take the arsenal away if he can force a card out. Oh, but we see in defense reactions a sink below. Let's see if there's anything else while he has priority. See him floating his cursor hand over the arsenal. Does look like those cursor hands are moving. It does look like there's a lot of conversation taking place. And we see 3 coming through. Ooh. And we do see the card come out of Arsenal. No fuse effect, so no Insidious Chill, but a Frostbite and some arcane damage with a blue pitch. And Yuki eating the 3 from the arcane and the 3 from Waning Moon, preserving the card and being able to arsenal it. We can see this battle of incremental card advantage take place here, where on each person's, on the active player's turn, they're at a considerable disadvantage. You see Filipchuk with just the 1 card, Yuki with a 5-card hand as the defending player seems to have it be in the driver's seat. And we see Insidious Chills. There are 4 Insidious Chills on the board now between the 2 Icelanders. A Frostbite being created. And no action, no Waning Moon on her, but we do see Adam with an arsenal. And immediately Yuki coming in with another Wounded Bull. This also for 7. Being higher life total. Yuki 23, Filipchuk 20. Icelander mirror in the deciding matchup of the series between Team Combat Chain and Team StroopWafel. Series evened up at 2-2. Combat Chain started 2-0, lost the last 2. The 4th game taking place a little earlier tonight. And there is the Blue Aether Ice Vein. We see a fuse. Two Insidious Chill counters get ticked off. 1 card in hand, though. A little overuse, a little overkill on the Insidious Chill, but necessary to remove her arsenal. Wounded Bull still staring down Filipchuk with 7 damage on the board. But here's the opportunity. Yuki will not arsenal a card this turn. So she will not have a response. Two Filipchuk's game actions here, and she has to take the Waning Moon arcane damage. And it looks like a, block with the blue Emerus Scolding. Filipchuk down to 16. Bender 18, Filipchuk 16. in the Icelander Mirror here on FTC Fight Night. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're all having a great time. Filipchuk with the Arsenal pass. And you got to imagine now a leg up, a possible pivot turn here, in a sense. Yuki unable to Arsenal a card at the end of her turn, leaving her a little vulnerable. Adam was not able to really fully punish, but now he's got the Arsenal. He's got the 2 Insidious Chills. Let's see if Filipchuk can take advantage of the situation here. Chat saying, seems fine, honestly. Yuki has tons of chill left and was still sending a big attack, not to mention the E-Pot already on board. All good points. This is a back and forth affair. And we see the E-Strike coming in. Unknown on the mode. Didn't look like a card draw. So this is either go again or 7. And we see a block for 6, taking 1. And Yuki Arsenal passes. And now we see a Fighting Spirit come in. Adam gaining a life. Adam out of cards in hand. So won't be victim of dual Insidious Chills, but unable to prevent any arcane in response here. Yuki thinking long and hard here about what to do in response, whether she's going to get that card out of Arsenal and deal some arcane damage or throw some cards down the block. If you're just tuning in, thanks for joining us here on the FTC YouTube channel, the Fab Team Cup. I am Patrick Shaw of the Combat Chain, flying solo this evening, bringing you the feature match of Adam Filipchuk versus Yuki Lee Bender, Team Combat Chain versus Team StroopWafel. And we do see the Aether Hail come in, and the Waning Moon dealing a bunch of arcane to Adam, down to 11. Still presenting 7. Yuki contemplating what to do. She's got 2 cards she looks like she's playing with, potentially put down for a block. And eating 7, we are both at 11. Dangerous times here for both players. The E-Strike coming in from Yuki on her turn. 1 card in hand. No Arsenal. Yuki with an E-Pot, 2 Insidious Chills, 1 fully loaded with 3 counters, the other with 2. 2 counters on the Constantinolas. Filipchuk also with 2 Insidious Chills on the board, but both at 1 and 1 counter on the chess piece. Bender attacking with the Enlightened Strike. Again, presumably for 7. There was no card draw. Get into the late game here of the Icelander mirror. Filipchuk in the tank, thinking about his response to the E-Strike. Every point of damage important here in the late game. Both players at 11. Icelander a little big brain for yours truly here. A lot of instant speed action. I'm a red card drop and deal 4 kind of guy here, and we do see the Aether Ice Vein fused with the Aether Hail. Lied, a block for 6, taking 1. And a Fighting Spirit gaining a life back to 11 and attacking for 7. Or perhaps he miscounted on the initial life loss and is now up to 10. Icelanders throwing a bunch of haymakers at each other. Got a bunch of 7 attacks coming across the board. We've seen Fighting Spirits and Wounded Bulls and Enlightened Strikes. With a smattering of Arcane and some ice non-attacks here. We see the block. Polar Blast and a Frosting. Oh, we see the life totals change. And Yuki taking 2 down to 9 after the block there. And there is an Ice Bolt and a Waning Moon using the Constanalis. I know I'm butchering that name. I apologize. Both on the edge of Stormstrider's max range here, says chat, so it's a tricky spot. They're playing around each other's chills, trying to get into the lethal position. Thank you, chat. You were right? We're 9 to 5, 5 to 9, single digits. It's getting sporty. If you're fully sitting on your seats, it's time to get to the edge. Put your elbows on your knees, focus on the screen here as we're getting down to the wire. Yuki with 1 card, no arsenal. Does have the energy potion, 2 insidious chills. You won't see a fuse right now. Real question is, what does Filipchuk have? in arsenal and in hand. 9 life from Yuki is I gotta imagine well within the kill range, especially if he can get a card out of Yuki's hand, that is. Looks like both players in the tank, figuring out what they're going to do here. Whose turn is it? They're asking one another. I thought it was your turn. No, I thought it was your turn. What am I going to do with the one card and no arsenal? It's got to be your turn. "22 minutes into the deciding game of the series between Combat Chain and StroopWafel. Thanks for joining us. We have Yuki Lee Bender, one of the best players in the world, facing off against Adam Filipchuk, a fantastic player in his own right. 11th at Canadian Nationals this year, 2022. There is Scar for Scar coming in for 4 go again after Yuki arsenaled. Dangerous times here for both players. I'll be honest, I'm a little shocked we didn't see something more from Filipchuk here in that previous turn cycle. We see a brain freeze blocking for 3, taking 1. Is Yuki. Scar for Scar with the go again. And there's a blue Aether Ice Vein. A pitch and a fuse. Insidious Chill 1 and 2. Chat says they're so low, the first one to pull the trigger might die. Looks like the gun is loaded. The trigger has been pulled. Insidious Chill's discard effects are on the table here. Got to imagine that if Yuki has the ability to respond, now is the time. There was an attempt at a pitch. She's looking at her arsenal. Pitches a Wounded Bull. And a Cold Snap. Down to 1 card. 1 card in hand, 1 in arsenal, 1 float. There's the amulet pitched for the Constanalis. The Waning Moon. Oh, and there's the pitch for the Waning Moon. Yuki taking 1 down to 7. Well, put the brain freeze on the bottom of her pitch. Corrected it. Put it in the graveyard. The Emerald is scolding. Pitch a blue. This might be it. Metacarpus nodes. Looks like being activated by Filipchuk. Timely chat. Timely here it is. The Emerald is scolding. Metacarpus nodes. Here's the E-Pot. Well, it looks like the E-Pot for resources just to prevent some arcane. Yuki down to 4. Stormstriders. Aether Bolt for 3. I gotta be with +1. The Metacarpus nodes. We still have a Waning Moon, I believe, if that is possible. But that is 4 on the table. Is this it? One, two, three, 0! Filipchuk takes it over Yuki Lee Bender. That's the game, folks. Team Combat Chain takes it over Team StroopWafel. Filipchuk over Bender on the Icelander Mirror. Holy moly. What a game. Went down to the wire there. Woo! My heart is pumping. Congratulations to both players. What a nail biter. My nails are gone. Unbelievable. Wow, what a game. That was amazing. All right, I think we're going to be back shortly. We're going to depart here for a moment. We're going to get the standby screen up here, and we will be joined by both competitors in just a few moments. So, hey, if you want to talk more about this game or find out more about this game that just went down, an incredible matchup between two great players, stick around. We'll be back in a few minutes. This is Patrick Shaw, and this is the FTC YouTube channel. You're watching FTC Fight Night. Stick around. 2, go. And we are back. Hey, everybody. Pat Shaw back here after an incredible game, and I got both competitors with me here to talk about it. Adam Filipchuk, Yuki Lee Bender, welcome to FTC Fight Night, the recap. How are we doing today?
Go ahead, Yuki.
Yeah, doing pretty good. I think it was a fun game. Yeah, just getting ready for the weekend here. I don't know.
Excellent. Yuki, talk to me about the Icelander mirror going in. What is the mindset of when you see Icelander flipped on the other side? What are kind of the things that are going through your mind in terms of getting ready and game planning for this matchup?
Yeah, so usually you're wanting to try and hit your setup pieces. They're all pretty good, honestly. Energy Potion might be the best of the bunch, but Insidious Chill, Amulet, even Frost Hex, if it's early enough, are all pretty good. And often most of the first half of the game, I guess you're just trading health, and it's about efficiency, and the life totals are usually fairly close. And then at some point, sometime around the 20th life mark or so, you can kind of expect the game to get, you're kind of starting to get close to lethal range, especially if there's Frost Hexes in play. And once you get to that, Strider's range, it's really quite precarious. So it's really kind of controlling, who has tempo when you get down to that 10 life or so threshold.
Certainly, and there was a big back and forth in that in that mid game area where both of you were trading heavy red cards for 7+, and then Adam, it does seem like there was a moment where the dual Insidious Chills kind of paid off for you there. Talk to me about where you felt like you had a pivot.
Yeah, so actually at one point in that match, I actually felt like I was quite behind. Yuki, I feel like, got her board state out quicker than I could get mine, and I felt like I had to get some sort of foothold and claw back into that match. And that's where I found this hand where I already had the one Insidious Chill out, and I found this hand where I had so many lines I could take. There was I think a Frost Hex in the hand, an Insidious Chill in the hand. Can't remember what the other two cards were, and it was just this realization that I needed to do what I just needed to do something to try to leverage my board state against Yuki's hand and to just claw some value back in the game. And that's where I realized if I could somehow slam that second Insidious Chill without taking too much of a hit, that was I figured my best bet to claw back into it.
Excellent, and congratulations, Adam, on the win.
Thank you. And a fun fact, actually, I don't know if you know this, Yuki. That's I think the first time we've ever actually played for as long as we've known each other. So just knowing your resume, my heart was palpitating going into that match.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if we have played. It's kind of funny. We've chatted a bunch and hung out and been on the same team, but I don't know if we played.
No, even in testing, it's always been one of us observing the other one. So I thought that was kind of a funny little sidebar.
Yeah, I hadn't really noticed it, but now that you mention it, I think you're right.
So yeah. I know I keep track of my wins over Adam, and I've got north of 500 on him. So I'm keeping track of both of you now.
Well, you know what? Okay, so at this point, I've got 100% win rate into Yuki. I'm never playing Yuki.
That's right. It's over. It's over. Retire now.
Yeah, we're quitting while we're ahead.
All right, so we are coming into the weekend of week 2 of the Fab Team Cup, where things are starting to take shape here in terms of who's in and who's out. StroopWafels, unfortunately, they look like they're on the kind of the back foot there, unfortunately. But Adam, talk to us about the league and how it's shaping up here for game 3 or for week 3.
Yeah, I mean, the league's been so exciting so far. So many powerhouses trying to fight to get into this top 16. I know, like, so at this point, I could say, I guess, Team Combat Chain, we have locked our spot at this point. I'm actually just fishing for. I had some of the standings out earlier today. If you give me 2 seconds, I can pull them up.
Yuki,
Put me on the spot a little bit.
that's all right. That's all right. Yuki, tell me your experiences so far with the Fab Team Cup. I know it's a fun endeavor that everyone likes to be a part of. This is your second season, I believe, part of this. But you're previously West Coast, Best Coast. Tell me about your experiences so far with the Team Cup.
Yeah, I think it's been a lot of fun. The format of it is quite interesting because it kind of encourages people to branch out and play at least a couple decks that aren't like the main meta calls. So that's really nice. And especially I think with a new set, the timing is kind of perfect. And yeah, it's been really enjoyable every time I've done it. And I know this time we've been taking it like we want to win for sure, but also just like we want to try out all the new stuff as well. So there's a lot of people been trying things, and some of us are playing the tried and true as well. But yeah, and some people are pretty keen to try out like Arachne and Dash and the new Kano and all that kind of stuff.
Now, to that point though, with Arachne, kind of everybody's waffling on whether Arachne is a viable hero or not in this competitive meta. I was looking through some stats from earlier today, and there was an Arachne win from week 2 in the Team Cup. So Arachne is putting up some numbers.
At least one. That's the one. I personally love Arachne. I'm still kind of. I am one of those wafflers. Yuki, what has been your exposure so far on the cards in Dynasty and how it's kind of affecting new decks here? What's your experience so far with Dynasty out?
Yeah, so I guess right away, like none of the big classes got cards, so they're kind of still in the meta game, but I don't think they've changed much. Dash is kind of the big one that everybody's talking about. I think how to build her, people are still figuring out. There's sort of like Boost Dash got some tools, and there's like more pistol control, or you can do like a hybrid kind of. I can pivot between the two of them. Mm-hmm. And then there's even the Nitro Mechanoid Dash, which I believe made it into second place at the PTI event in Hong Kong, attached to the Battle Hardened.
Ooh, okay. All right. I did not know that.
It looked pretty interesting. So I don't know. I think, and it was played by Alan Lau from Blue Pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think he said he was planning to maybe do a deck tech on it. So maybe more of that coming. I think you can also check it out at, is it Fable Gaming or whatever?
Yes, I believe that is that.
I think that's the Hong Kong one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think it's on there if people are curious. But yeah, Dash seems like potentially a major contender, and then the rest of them, I'm unsure. I don't know if anybody got quite enough tools, but maybe Reiner. I don't know.
Excellent. Right, Berserk with Reiner seems to be super super interesting. Gives me some Force of Nature vibes. Excellent. Yuki, thank you for coming on. Adam, I think what we'll do here is we'll break for another minute or so here, and then we'll come back and do a little league recap. So, Yuki, thank you for coming on to us. Plug your stuff. Where can we find you? How can the people watching on the FTC channel find Yuki Lee Bender?
So you can find me on Twitter at Yuki Lee Bender. I also have a podcast called On the Bobble. We are on YouTube, Spotify, and a lot of the major platforms for podcasts out there. So you can check us out. We're primarily limited focused, although right now with no fresh limited set, we are kind of branching out and covering other things as well. But yeah, that's with myself and Jay Ueda, who's a longtime friend and local that is top nationals and has his own
top 8 stats this year. It's funny, actually. Yeah. Jay was sitting right next to me when he beat David Rood, and the excitement in his voice when he got that top 8 was super exciting for him. Jay's a great guy and a phenomenal co-host.
Awesome. Well, Yuki, thank you very much for coming along with us and popping on after the match. Appreciate your time. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after a few minutes with some closing remarks. Stick around. All right, we are back. Now it's just Adam and I. Adam, congratulations again on your victory. That is a notch on anyone's belt, a feather in anyone's cap. So well played, well earned. That is so week 2 still in progress. Results are still. It seems like the weekend is going to be heavy with gameplay. So we don't have a ton of results to share with everyone, but we do want to look. Week 3 coming up. Fab Team Cup channel. We're looking to make it as active as possible. And we've been saying it in the Discords. We were saying it out. I'm climbing onto the mountaintops and shouting my lungs out. We want to stream your games. If you have a game that you want featured, we want to put it on the channel. It doesn't have to be live. You can record it. You can bring it on here. Whatever we got to do, we want to do it. We want content on the channel for week 3 here, and it doesn't just have to be Friday. We're going to line up another Friday Night Fight to round out the round robin portion of the cup here. We're trying to get if we can load up a Wednesday. We'll probably shoot for a Wednesday. We'll load it all up. We got international content creators as well. So if you're at a different time zone than us, we have people for that. It works great. But get your games in. Contact myself, Pat Shaw at Pat Smash Good on Discord, or Adam at Fomtoolery on Discord, and let us know so that we can get these games on here. Adam,
what do you say, Pat?
I think that's going to do it for us here on the FTC channel. Thanks for tuning in for another exciting edition of Fab Fight Nights, brought to you by Fab Foundry. I'm Patrick Shaw. This is Adam.
Oh, and you know what? Well, we've got the viewers here. We could talk about the Fab Team 10 promo code quickly.
Oh, yes. Let's do that. Do you have it in front of you?
Yeah, so just in support of the Fab Team Cup, Fab Foundry is pouring their heart and soul into doing everything they can to see this thing be successful. And as part of that endeavor, they are, Travis over at Fat Foundry has actually set up a promo code. That is how invested he is in seeing this thing be successful. So promo code, single sales. If you use the promo code FAB I believe it's Team Cup 10. Oh boy, now I had it all lined up in here.
It's live, people. It's live.
It is. The code is
Oval
Team Cup 10.
Team Cup 10.
Oh, Team Cup 10. Use that code on any single orders off the Fab Foundry website, and you'll get 10% off your order with a portion of proceeds going into supporting Fab Cup, actually. So if you like what you're seeing, if you want to get some singles, and on top of that, see this thing grow, show Travis and the folks over at Fab Foundry that you want to see this thing be successful, that is the place to let them know.
That's right. And you can find us. We are the Combat Chain Podcast. As I was saying, I'm Pat Shaw. This is Adam Filipchuk. You can find us on YouTube at the Combat Chain. Be sure to find us over there. Like, subscribe. Our latest episode is coming out tonight.
Today, yeah. Today
should be out. We got Hayden Dale on. Check it out when it's up on our channel. And that is going to do it for us here. We won't close the Combat Chain, because we'll save that for our channel, but that is going to do it for us. So, be well, everyone, and have a good night. Thank you for tuning in.
So much, guys.